Similar to the lesson before, I'm going to look again at prices, but this time instead of the uniforms and clothing, I'm going to look at school supplies. I found this was a much more interesting take for my high school students than just saying something like, for math class, I need a pencil. To start, an open-ended question was just to ask them, where do you get your school supplies? Other than the word for actually school supplies, they were able to use cognates and proper nouns to be able to answer this question. So now, because the goal is talking about the prices, we're going to go look at some ads that are for school supplies. I found that Walmart was a store that was in several countries, and it was easy to find advertisements and flyers for them. Also, you might go directly to a department store or large box store that sells school supplies to find some of this information. So while they were looking at it, we did this together the first time, and this one is for El Salvador. So at the top they wrote country, El Salvador, tienda, store, they wrote Walmart, and then we went through and figured this out. So what is the price of a pencil? And if they come in a pack, then we had to do a little more math to decide exactly how much is just one pencil. Then we went on and looked at like scissors, notebook, markers, backpack, a few other things like that. Then at the end, we needed to convert all of this to the United States dollar so we could get a better feel of how much that actually is. Next up, we went and looked at, again, how much do people make in that country and compared that. Now that we've done this together, I sent them to go do their own research. So their task was go find an ad or a flyer or a department store and find out the prices of these same supplies for the new city or country that they were assigned. And then that gave them basically three things to compare: the United States, El Salvador, and whichever one that they researched on their own. Here's another resource or idea that you can use, especially if your students are in that intermediate range. And it's a video and infographic about how the prices of school supplies have quadrupled in Venezuela. This gave the students another perspective on how cheap our prices were and why it's so important to maybe not leave your pencil on the floor. This lesson really brought up some deep concerns that they wanted to be able to talk about, which they couldn't do in the target language. And I think this is perfect for sending home some of these intercultural reflections for them to think about and be able to respond in their L1.